Dice. Rolls. Dragons. Trolls.
Adventurous.
What is that?
My tower.
Your tower is leaning?
Yeah, it's the leaning tower of...
Dysa?
Yeah.
Nice, got it. As a side note, we're recording, so welcome
Of course we are.
Back to the show!
To the adventure.
That's true.
To...
I don't know. What are you pointing at me like I know what you're talking about?
Adventurous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to the podcast. Yeah, welcome back to Dad Adventurous. We're back again. I bet everyone's so surprised.
What? No, we didn't leave it on a not really a cliffhanger.
We're back in the story. We're back in the chaos. We're back in the kiosk.
The kiosk.
Maybe not.
That just sounds like a kiosk.
A kiosk. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Also, I have just achieved a very rare feat that we started talking about that requires much balance. The stacking of all 7 dice into a single tower. And you can try it at home, but I will not guarantee whether or not it will fall over.
Okay, so I wanted to have a quick little shout-out-to-kiss, whatever you want.
Shout-out-to-kiss?
Yeah, shout-out-to-kiss. We've had a couple people throw out some reviews lately, which is super cool.
We got reviews.
We're getting reviews. We really appreciate it. That helps a ton. So we've got some people on there calling us out, saying that they've been enjoying every new episode. We even had somebody have a little kid who was hoarding paper clips, apparently, around the household. So that was very cute. Thank you to those people who are enjoying the show. And without further ado, I'm not going to stack my dice because I know I am too clumsy for it to work. But we will instead jump into today's episode. Are you ready, young Kia daughter?
Yeah.
Roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding.
Roll initiative against the DM.
Against me. But let's do a little bit of a slightly longer recap just to kind of make sure everybody's up to speed. We have Kia. She was born as a cat. I'm just kidding. We don't need to go back that far. But
that's like episode 20.
That's true. But we do have that Kia found herself attacked once again by surge scarabs. She got flung into the past via memories. Saw memories of Gunther, Czar, Tilda getting wounded by a Theodora, a misguided, experimented. Your dice fell, didn't they?
Yeah. A
miscompassed. There you go. We'll use that word from now on. She's not evil.
Her moral compass
She's miscompassed.
Yeah, because her moral compass is off.
I see. I like it. And you saw that Theodora had tried this once before. She's gathered different artifacts. She tried to mess with storms. She tried to do all this stuff. Last time it was at the cost of Mr. Zax Billsworth, a.k.a. Czar Bloodhoof, who got teleported into Flippet's world, turned into a Minotaur, and showed up years later with a grudge. He and Theodora have fought sort of a hoarding battle over the last couple of years, tech hoarding. And now, with him returning to a little bit of normalcy, and you guys know that Theodora was able to snag all those surged artifacts and make her way out to Far-Flung Tower.
Where we smash cutted to...
We did, to Carl and Brad. The true heroes of the podcast. Who will,
make a return?
Yeah, they'll be here.
Yay!
And that is where we kind of have Kia and Gunther and team. They came back through a portal that Czar had, a different type of portal that took you into Map's Edge. You guys went back into the scrape. You found some cute recordings / sad recordings
They made
of
me
Tilda.
cry.
They did make you cry.
And then I made you cry.
And then we fought a giant scraper and had a beautiful feast in
yeah.
Map's Edge. A hero's feast.
A hero's feast, even.
Yep.
Wait, do I still have that?
I think you have the temporary, and then you were just immune to
How many
stuff.
temporary hit points?
So you get an extra 11, not temporary, but overridden max health.
For how long?
I said 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
79 hit points. No.
And so you had a hero's feast. You guys had met with some old Map's Edge people. Gunther gifted you with the Cloak of the Rummager that Tilda herself had made up. And he decided to join you on the journey after you kind of convinced him. He was a little hesitant, but he decided to get some closure. He was going to need to come with you and help deal with
Theodora.
And so you had gathered up in the ship. Beryl had augmented it to hold about 10 people, 11 people. And you guys had set to the skies.
And I don't actually think it's in my inventory, but I did use a
you
bog
did.
bloom flower.
That's what I was going to say. You set to the sky, you got up high enough, and then you went over to Beryl, and you handed her a specifically Dijon mustard colored
Yes.
bog bloom flower, maybe the last one in your pack. Handed it to her, she threw it in the tank, and boom, you guys, leaving a trail of smoke and mist behind, rocketed towards the east. And that is where we find ourselves now. The wind is rushing through your fur. You got Flibbit next to you. He's hunkered down underneath so he can actually stay on the ship.
Oh, yeah, because he floats.
As he floats, everybody's kind of enjoying the breeze. You know that it's a nice enough day outside, little overcast, but you can't see because of this.
The Rubik's Cube of
Mist
smoke and
fog.
mist.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can't see, so Beryl is just driving by compass and knows the way to Briarport. And so you guys are sailing along. Is there anything you wish to do? You have a side-tied cart with some bloodhounds, Czar Bloodhoof. and Yasmin, that's true. Another very important character
that you randomly came up with.
that I definitely randomly came up with.
3
bloodhounds, Yasmin, Czar, and then you have Harwick, Beryl, Maud, yourself, and Gunther in the ship.
Not really. I
Okay.
think I maybe hunker down with Flibbit a little bit, hide from the wind.
Okay. Yeah, you hunker down. Flip is like, hey, Kia,
Hey,
how you doing?
good. How are you?
Well, all right. This is starting to feel final.
Yeah.
Starting to feel home stretchy.
Stretchy?
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I can get that.
I gotta ask you something.
What?
What do you think we ought to do when this is all over?
I guess.
I just am trying to think about, Elder Pap, my other flubs and my dwarves. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go back. I like it here.
If you want to go back, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah. And hey, who knows? If we find a way to your world, well, this world, and now that I've traveled, we've been to lots of places. But for me and for you, there's a whole new world to rummage.
Oh boy, that's my world's pretty crazy. There's not really past world tech stuff. It's more like just magic stuff. And
Magic stuff?
Yeah, people could just use it.
Whoa!
There's still like items and stuff, but they're like magical, which is kind of, I guess, past world tech, but different.
I see.
Anyway, I'm just thinking about it. And about that time, Beryl announces that you guys are about 3/4 of the way to Briarport.
Oh, wow, that's fast.
Yeah, you're flying along. It's been, we'll pretend that it's been most of a day.
Oh.
You guys left bright and early. If you're not looking to do anything, the time passes. You hear gulls chirping as you start getting closer to the ocean. You pass by a couple spots where the mist and fog breaks through enough that you can see down. You can see some creatures roaming the plains.
Oh, I'm excited
For
when we
what?
get to Briarport. I have a meeting with a certain bicorn-hatted general, if he's back.
That's true. That's true. You might.
I left him tied up in a warehouse, so.
You did. And, well, he got out of that.
Did he?
Yeah, because he came with Hodge and whatnot.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Anywho, you guys are sailing along. The sun is starting to set. It's getting darker, that kind of thing. You knew this was going to be a decently long journey via airship even, but that bog bloom flower made it into a one-day journey. And so she announces that you guys are starting to sail into Briarport.
Yay. We are an extremely fast-moving cloud.
Beryl looks down at you too, and she goes, "Hey, you ready to go back?"
Yeah,
All right.
think so.
It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah. I wonder how the town's doing ever since you, blew
Had
it
a
up.
stylish exit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was super cool. I don't know. That's the point. I guess we'll go figure it out. And she...
And maybe we'll get to see...
Greta?
Yes! Thank
the,
you.
The goods lady?
Maybe we'll get to see Greta again.
That's what I'm hoping for. I want to go get some food from Tally and Fiona, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tally really liked food.
You did? Hey, go... Why don't you clamber up and shut us down? I'm going to start descending.
Okay.
She
Climber
has a
up the thing.
little rope ladder going up to the Rubik's Cube of Fog and Mist.
I unsolve the puzzle.
Yeah, you unsolve the puzzle, and suddenly you watch as the mist and fog dissipates. And suddenly, whoosh, you see that you are indeed, maybe an hour out from Briarport, and Beryl starts to descend the ship, keeping you guys low. Looking around in the sky and beyond, can you please make a perception check for me?
A perception check, you say?
Yes, indeedy.
Ooh, 22.
Okay. You don't see anything immediately nearby moving or anything, but as it frees up and you start seeing out toward the ocean from here, you can see that bank of fog. You've seen it before, looking out to the east, this theoretical far-flung tower that you can see as of now, a bank of fog surrounding this island.
Can I see up above it, though?
Yep, and you can see up above it with that 22, and you are able to see a thin spire of a tower way off in the distance. Looks no bigger than like a pencil from your perspective. Purpley, sparkly mist coming out of the top.
I shout, "Hey, Beryl!
Yeah.
Far-flung tower off the port bow!"
She goes, "I suppose that's our destination, isn't it?"
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get down and make a pit stop, and then we'll be on our way probably tomorrow morning.
All right.
And so she descends. You guys make your way down into Briarport. She starts guiding the ship down, and you see pretty soon that she's guiding it down to her old house /
Oh, yeah. Didn't
laboratory.
that thing get blown up?
Well, she blew it up, yeah.
Yeah.
And so she takes the ship down. You know that there was a pathway down into town from there. And she lands this larger ship next to this ruins of this university that she used to do alchemy at for the town. And it you never really got to see it fully, but it is completely flattened. Rubble everywhere. It looks like maybe some people have come through and piled up some stuff and made it a little cleaner, but it is wrecked.
I turn to Beryl, and say, "So, how did you feel about blowing up your house?"
Well, in the moment, it was, it was what we needed to do. To get out of the way. A little bummer now, because, and she points over at Czar, and she's like, I'm kind of hoping that I can come back to Briarport after all this.
Yeah.
But,
hopefully. I glare at him.
I figure it's a good spot to land, and I'm going to sift through some stuff, see what I can find in my old gear while you guys go off into town.
All right.
I'll meet you later tonight for dinner.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, so the ship
Yeah.
jostles as it hits the ground on some rubble. She throws open the door, and the crew of people...
Oh, 11 of us?
Yep. Are going to set out. We'll say Harwick wants to go down into town, but Maud's going to stay behind. Czar is already walking towards town. Didn't say anything, didn't talk to anyone. He's just walking down the hill already.
Sometimes I wonder if he'll just, walk off one day. We'll never be able to find him again because he doesn't say anything to tell people.
Harwick's standing next to you with his hands on his hips, and he goes, that guy.
I guess we better follow him.
I guess so. All right. After you. And Flippet's like, all right, let's go. And he starts making his way down the hill as you follow.
I go down after him.
Okay, so as the sun's
I want
getting...
to know where Zar is going, but I don't want to ask him where he's going. I just want to, go with him.
The sun is at your back, setting in the west. It's starting to look really glistening out on the ocean, very pretty. And other than that sort of foreboding appearance of the tower and purple dark clouds forming above it.
Yeah, wait, can you see it from the ground?
You can't really see the tower, but you can kind of just see white fog with dark above.
Okay.
And that's kind of what you see from this distance. It's pretty far off. And and you guys start making your way down into Briarport. As you start to go down, you'll notice that Zar just kind of walks his way into town. He's heading right for the center of town itself, and there's a decent amount of people. It's actually pretty...
busy?
Busy, yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful day, and people start stopping what they're doing, and they start looking over at this 10-foot-tall Minotaur just walking into town. There's whispers happening. There's lots of hushed things. A couple families run inside and close the doors.
As I see this, I just, face palm. And run up to Zar.
Okay.
And I, say, Psst, Zar.
What?
You're attracting too much attention.
So? What do you want me to do? I'm a 10-foot-tall Minotaur.
Apologize?
And he just keeps walking.
To these people?
Yeah, he just
that
keeps
your
walking.
bloodhounds burnt stuff?
he's just like, that's future problem. I'm not worried about it right now. Harwood comes up to you and he's like, baby steps.
Oh, okay.
And Zar goes into the middle of town square where a lot of people are hushed whispers and everything. And all eyes are on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you make a perception check again for me as you start to come in and people are stopped in the streets and everything's...
Non-natural 20.
A non-natural 20. A little flash of green out of the corner of your eye. You turn over, and there, about Harwick's size, is a goblin.
No.
And he goes, well, look who's back in my town.
I could say the same for you.
And Skrick the goblin
Skrick
turns and looks towards you with his rolls his sleeves up. He's got his fists all clenched. And
cross my arms.
Yeah.
And glare down at him.
And then right as he's about, and he's got eyes only for you. And he starts walking over to you and he's like, I never finished what I wanted to finish off in Scarlet Hill. And he pummels his fist.
What? Does he have a hat now?
Make an investigation check with advantage.
Because it'd be really funny if he was demoted. No, he doesn't have a hat. 12.
And so you notice, I said with advantage.
Oh, with advantage?
Yeah.
Then 18.
You notice a chin strap around his neck, and strapped onto his back is a hat. And right as you're starting to put that together, he walks up to you and he's like, now you listen here, cat. This is my town, and I don't want you here. And then...
I don't want you here either.
And then suddenly you hear a noise as another voice breaks through, and it says, oh, Skrick, you might want to open up your eyes a little bit. And Skrick looks back at that voice, and then he kind of looks back at you, and then
I shrug.
And then as you're shrugging, his eyes wander up to the 10-foot-tall face of Zar Bloodhoof behind you. And he goes, oh no. And he quickly grabs the hat behind his back, puts it on his head, and goes into salute. And there are 4 points on this hat.
He got demoted.
He got super duper demoted.
Whoa.
And then and Zar looks down at him, tisks and shakes his head as another purple goblin comes running out of the crowd, big portly goblin with white hair. And he's wearing an ill-fitting bloodhound attire. And he comes bounding over out of breath. Hello, sir. Welcome back to New Briarport. I've been doing what I can to get the town back in shape, and
I just give him like a look of pure confusion.
and Czar's like, Grick,
Grick.
shut up. Tell me where the inn is. Tell me where I can stay. We got people we're gonna feed. We'll be here for 24 hours. And Grick the goblin is like, oh yes, sir. Right away, sir.
I just look at Grick, look at Skrick, look at Czar, and just shake my head.
And Grick goes and turns to Skrick and he goes, Skrick, now, I don't appreciate you coming out here and still pretending to be mayor. We've talked about this. You are now my assistant. And so, I will ask that you please go get accommodations at Hawkbeak Inn for our guests.
Wait. Guys, calm down real quick. Are you saying that you, Skrick, are now assistant to the new goblin mayor, whose name is Grick? Are you guys like brothers or something?
Now we're not brothers. He's just thinks he's better than me. And Czar clears his throat and he's like, oh, sorry, sir. I'm going now. I'm going to be a good assistant. I am going to get a new hat. And he runs off into town square.
I just follow him, I guess.
Oh, he's just going to secure rooms.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
look down at Grick.
yeah.
And I say, I hold out my hand.
Oh, nice to meet you. You must be Kia.
Kia.
Yes, I've heard so much about you.
Oh,
I was
have.
Yes, I'm a bloodhound, more of a paperwork-focused bloodhound, and he pats his belly. And he goes, but I've heard of you, for sure.
See. Well, it's good to see Skrick working as a productive bloodhound.
Wow.
And it's nice to meet you, Grick.
Nice to meet you, too. And Czar just looks down at you, shakes his head, and he goes, Grick, town looks good. I want to go to bed.
Isn't it like sunset?
Well, yeah. He wants his room. And Grick's like, well, sir, you can come this way. And he looks to you and he goes, well, you're welcome at Hawkbeak Inn. I'll make sure that you have rooms for people. And tomorrow or this evening we can chat more.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye, guess.
And he portly runs after
Portly
Czar.
runs.
And you
Oh
notice
yeah, he's
that
like a little goblin
Yeah.
versus Czar is like 10 feet tall.
exactly. And you notice
This is
that
funny.
he goes off that direction, and as he goes, Grick is like, "Oh, hello, it's okay. We're doing new things in the Bloodhounds," and he's trying to like reassure the people of Briarport.
Is it working?
Yeah, some people are like, "Oh, if Grick says it's okay, yeah."
Some people.
Yep.
I look around. Are we in the spot where the fountain is?
Yeah, you're kind of in that road anyway, that main strip. Yeah.
I look around for Greta.
You look around for Greta. And so you look around, and first things first, you notice that there are still some damage from Barrel's crazy explosions of acid and other things see through against buildings. People are repairing that. And then a little further down the street, you see a burned building still. That's still burned down, but people are starting to clear it out, things like that. Greta's Gears, it was called, right? And then right next door, you see a very light white-colored shop that you have been in before. However, you notice as you're looking at it that there's some sort of paint on it, some gold paint. There's some new gears on the signs, things like that. And it generally looks a little different. And as you look over there, you see the sign is up on there, and it says, tacked on above goods enough is a wooden carving word of Greta's goods enough. And you see that there is maybe a new shop in town.
I walk up and peek inside.
You peek inside, it's bustling. People are all in here because the past world tech in here looks top notch.
Oh!
And you see bustling around, wearing an apron, fixing crazy pipes that are coming through the floor and into the store and making some of the displays turn. Some of the displays rise and fall. She's turned some of this like water pressure stuff. She has a fountain in here and she has
It's
made
like a mall.
yeah, she has made the interior of Goods Enough. It's still white and everything like that, but it's now a bit more rummagery as there's some crazy shelves and
This is
stuff
like
in here.
a little mini mall.
Yeah, and as you walk
This
in,
is great.
yeah, and as you walk in, a little sensor, pastoral text sensor at the door reads you, and the thing goes, "Bing bong, welcome to Greta's Goods Enough," and a little recording plays,
Wow.
just like a shopping store. And
That's crazy.
and Greta picks her head up, looks over at you. She
I
was this
wave.
dwarf, and she's still got that same kind of like rummager gear, but almost like repair person. She's got the tool
Yeah.
belt, benches and stuff. Or
Wait,
I mean,
is your
wrenches.
giant wrench still there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's got that thing slipped onto her back, and she squints her eyes like this, and she looks for
Hey,
a
Greta.
second, and she goes, "Oh, I forget what my accent was."
Wasn't she like old grandmotherly, but also
I
like
thought she was like weird Scottish. I don't know.
maybe she was Scottish actually?
Oi! Kia, is that you? That was like British, but we're going with it.
Okay, she's British now. Yeah. Hey, Greta. Wow, this looks really nice. And I walk
come
up to
on
her.
in, come on in. Welcome to Greta's Goods Enough.
Are you okay?
I don't think I'll be able to maintain that, but
The
yeah.
extremely.
Oi, welcome. That's piratey. Are we doing Scottish? Oh, Kia. Welcome back to shop.
That
Or
totally
maybe,
wasn't
Or maybe
voiceless.
she was Dwarf Sylvanian. Welcome to Greta's Goods. It's me, Greta. I am welcome back
You-
to the shop.
Okay, listeners, you actually now get to hear the famous Dad Dwarf Sylvanian. So,
All right.
This is
Greta
it.
is Dwarf Sylvanian. All right.
Okay.
And she goes, "Yes, welcome back to this place." I'm just doing everything. I lost it immediately.
yeah, it's really nice in here. Did you?
It is, yes, very nice. Sorry, I can't.
No, it's great. It's great. I love it. I love it. Keep doing it.
All right.
Did you make all of this? Well, the displays and things?
Well, I mean, we have done these things where we fixed up the shop. Yes, we. And she whistles out loud, and coming out from the back is a guy who is wearing an apron. You can't really see his arms at all, but he's just kind of there. He's wearing some bloodhound gear and
An apron and bloodhound gear.
an apron, bloodhound gear. And she goes, "Yes, my assistant there, he is, we bought the store together, and now we run it as a bloodhound / Greta type thing."
Oh!
And Grick, have you met Grick?
Yes, yes, the
Grick
new
and
mayor.
me, we gets along very well.
Oh,
He is good guy, good goblin.
that's interesting.
It's super interesting. And so I have made a new store, and we are much better.
Question.
Answer.
Have you seen? I love this. This totally wasn't her voice, but I
Not
love
at
it. Have you seen one of the previous workers around here? I think his name was. He was a dwarf too. I think his name was Carl. She doesn't know what happened to Carl.
Yeah, no one does. Oh, yeah, no, that's why I purchased the shop, because one day Carl and another citizen here, Brad was his name, they just left. And the Goods Enough
Left?
store, yes, the Goods Enough store was lacking employment.
Oh,
And so I was able to swoop in after your famous escape and take it over for myself and me and that guy, whose name
is
Tron. And, and as you look over at Tron, he comes over and he bows deeply, and he goes, "Oh, hello." And you recognize this guy.
What?
Mhm.
I do.
And as he bows down, and it takes you a moment, as he bows down, you notice over his head, he bows very deeply in his back. His arms are tied down at his sides
Oh!
with an enchanted ball of yarn. And he goes, yes, I don't know if you remember me.
Oh,
I once...
I'm really sorry about that. I didn't realize you're still,
Well, you tied a very good knot, and it turns out that particular piece of Password tech can only be cut by the user of the thread.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that. I didn't realize it. I take out my fork knife and just
Finally cut the knot.
snip it.
And Tron, the old bloodhound guy
Tron, the
you
orc
tied
who
up
was,
the orc. Yeah, you tied him up so many weeks ago.
How long? How's he been able to like eat?
Greta, you say that, and Greta's like, "Well, we've had a deal. He helps me greet customers and upsell things because he couldn't use his hands."
I'm really sorry about that.
Well, and he goes, "It's fine. I'm free now." And you crack his arms out, and they're just still limp at his sides. And he goes, "They're completely dead right now, but I'm hoping they'll come back in a day or two."
I actually feel really bad
and he
now.
kind of like wiggles his shoulders, and he's like, "Wonderful! I just told you that." I liked to think because you never cut him free.
I did. I never cut him free. He was still tied
and
up.
Greta looks at you, and she's like, "Well, maybe now we'll be able to get some more stuff done. And Greta's good's enough."
Yeah. This is really nice in here. It's a lot well, it's a lot better than the other one.
I think so too. All right, I have to get back to work. Are you
Nice.
here? Are you here for a while?
Yes, and Beryl's here too.
Oh, okay. We will
Beryl
meet.
and Maud.
You staying at the inn?
Yes.
We'll meet there later for dinner. And then Dwarf Sylvanian walks her way back to the shop.
Hi, Greta. Nice
Bye.
seeing you again.
I fully remembered my accent. I think
That
she just
totally-
had like a normal
She
voice.
just had like a normal, like kind of old voice.
I don't know.
But
This is
I
more
like
fun.
the Dwarf Sylvanian.
I should really I just like take a moment right now and make notes, but I'm not going to do that. I haven't done it yet. Why would I start now? Okay.
Totally Dwarf Sylvanian.
That's right.
All right.
Is there anything else you would like to do in town, or do you want to make your way over to Hawkbeak Inn?
I think I just want to make my way over to Hawkbeak Inn.
Okay.
If I spot Tally on the way,
Yep.
I say hi.
Okay, yeah.
But
I think it's, you notice that Hawkbeak Inn is bustling, and you head over there, and your crew of people, minus Czar, Yasmin, and the Bloodhounds. Actually, minus Czar and Yasmin. The Bloodhounds would come.
Alright.
But Czar and Yasmin are off doing dinner with Grick. and
Oh,
doing
oh,
their
yeah,
own
the
thing
fancy
at the Grick
stuff.
Mayor house. Yeah, exactly.
oh.
And but the Hawkbeak Inn for everybody else. As you come in, you are greeted by a very small, very adorable young Eric Cochran bird person.
Slightly, I always thought of her as like she was slightly creepy, but
Tally.
also really cute.
She goes, "Oh, hi, Kia.
Hi, Tally.
Hi." And she just like hugs your leg awkwardly,
Yeah, because
but
she's
in a
so
way
short.
that like you can't quite tell if it was a hug or if she fell into you. And she goes, welcome back. Your people are over there." And then she just starts walking that way.
Oh, thank you for showing me the table, Tally.
Do you still like fish?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
bye.
love fish.
she
Her order
giant
note
table,
is fish.
Yeah, and it just says fish, Kia. And as you go to sit down, Flibbit joins you there too, and he goes, "She didn't ask me anything, but I guess, well, I don't know. Hopefully she'll be back."
Oh, yeah. Wait, was I the only one
Yep.
who got
And she filled out the entire piece of paper with that order.
fish?
And you guys head over, and everyone's there. From up top, you got Beryl chatting with Greta. You got Maud and Harwick chatting over some stuff. Flibbit's there. Eventually, Fiona, the innkeeper of Hawkbeak Inn, Tally's mom, comes. She starts taking orders. And you guys
Properly
eat.
this time.
Yep. And you have a wonderful, pleasant night at Hawkbeak Inn.
Yay.
We don't need to do another feast, so we're just assuming you have a pleasant night.
Yay!
Once again, a question, unless you want to discuss anything specific. What do you think Kia dreams about? The knowledge that tomorrow is a sail across the seas. Tomorrow might mean getting out and over to Farflung Tower.
I think she dreams about sailing on the airship, but the airship is made of the blue yarn.
From the everlasting yarn ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to think of really weird dreams.
I like
so
it.
she dreams about that, and she dreams about sailing, and she goes into the fog around the island, around the far-flung tower,
Mm-hmm.
and they activate the fog cloud, but it's not fog, it's the purple mist, and so they go up to the top of the far-flung tower and land on the top.
I love it.
On the really pointy tip.
That is perfectly bizarre.
I try to think of really weird dreams.
That is how dreams kind of work. And so you have a strange dream.
About sailing the ship made of yarn.
Yeah. We find ourselves waking up in the beautiful town of Briarport, and Kia feels rested. A new day dawned, etc., etc. And you go outside and you notice the ship is being loaded up and ready.
I think well, first of all, I get up in the morning and I go out and I say goodbye to Tally and Fiona.
Bye.
Bye, Tally. Bye, Fiona. Thanks for the fish.
Yep, next time I'll have more fish. And then she just skitters away into the kitchen.
Yeah. That I've always thought she was like a little weird, but also really
she's
cute.
a little weird.
And I go out. Well, the first thing I do is look to the top of the hill for where the airship is.
Yeah.
And since he's 10 feet tall, do I see Czar at all?
Make a perception check.
Disappeared? I want to make sure we have Czar. 14.
14. Yeah, you're looking out there, you're scanning on the hill, the horizon, you don't really see anything. Flibbit's kind of standing there next to you, he's like, what are you looking for?
Czar, I want to, well, he needs to be here.
And
Right.
then you suddenly kind of feel a shadow pass over you, and it has horns.
I just turn around.
You turn around, and he's like, what are you talking about me?
Oh, I was just looking for you.
Well, I'm here. What are we just standing around for?
Okay. Well, after you. After you.
He's just walking up the hill.
I go and say goodbye to Greta
Yep, and
Tron.
And Tron, yes. And Grick is there too. Yeah.
I wish them good luck.
Yes. And she goes, maybe when you come back, we will have a new Briarport and a new place for business. I don't know. I'm thinking about expanding. I'm going to buy my old shop. Well, it's my old shop. We're going to expand into my old shop.
Oh,
and maybe it will be bigger than Goods Enough. Maybe it will be really Goods Enough.
Well, good ideas. I'll, good luck with your expanding. I hope it's really good.
It's going to be the best. And she waves you on your way, and you guys make your way up the hill. And without getting into it too much, you pile back into the ship and make your way into the sky.
Into the sky.
Beryl looks at you. She gives you a nod.
I give her a thumbs up.
Yep. Gunther comes over and kind of stands next to you on the rail. He kind of just stayed at the ship most of the night. He was just kind of being Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys set sail and take to the skies. And he goes, well, I suppose we're off now. Are you ready, Kia?
I am indeed.
Well,
Onward to far-flung town.
Nice. And you guys set sail. You go up, you activate the mist and fog, all that business.
Oh, we're going to be like totally invisible because in the fog. Because it's a fog cloud.
Mm-hmm.
It's fog.
Mm-hmm. And so
in theory,
you sail.
I'm scared.
And you sail. And you start sailing past the coast of Briarport. You start sailing past the edges of everything.
edges of everything.
that you've ever known, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You're heading east.
Far east.
Far east, and you know that the ocean goes this way for longer than anyone's been able to sail before. And yet, there's fog approaching. And from this height, can you please make another perception check?
I failed.
Okay.
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. Yeah. And, okay. And you guys start sailing along. Pretty soon, you're able to see the tower even more clearly. And you notice that the clouds last night that were minimal have increased quite a bit.
The pink clouds?
The pink, purple, wild magic, surge scarab style dusty cloud mist is now quite a bit bigger,
Oh.
filling the sky with sparkly nonsense that you can see in front of you. And you guys start sailing that direction. Beryl is keeping an eye on things, and she is going to have you activate the mist and fog. You guys are shrouded, and you
Have we reached the purple bits yet?
are approaching it quickly.
I am going to take my scarf, shrouding,
Okay.
because it's a scarf, and I'm just going to tug it up over my snout, just in case.
Just in case.
I don't know what breathing in wild
Yeah,
magic will
that's fair.
do, so...
And so you guys start sailing, and you know you're only about halfway there, but you start sailing through this like remnants of sparkly stuff. You can see it in the sky, you can see it in the air.
Oh.
It's this sort of this haze. The sun is hitting it this morning in such a way that it glistens pink and purple and greens and blues, and it's very wild magic-y reminiscent. But yeah, it's like in the air. Yeah, and you cover your mouth, but Gunther holds up his portal hand, and he kind of runs his hand through it and looks at it, and as soon as he sort of touches it and tries to look at it, it sort of just dissipates again. And he tries to touch it, and it almost, he's like, it's like nothing's there at all. It's like those surge scarabs. Just sort of dissipates after I touch it.
Weird.
Very weird. And he shakes his head and he goes, "Oh, Theodora, why must you be so bold?"
Just in case. I still keep it up, though.
And about that time, as you go to keep it up, the mist starts traveling up, and it starts going around the ship, and it starts kind of where it hits the mist and fog. It's starting to, like, the mist and fog out of visibility. And poof.
Wait, like it's getting rid of it?
Kind of, yeah. It's almost like it's deflecting it. And as you sail and get closer, you notice that the mist and fog starts dissipating.
Oh.
And Beryl's
Say,
like...
Beryl, go low!
Beryl's like, "All right, we're going down. We'll see if we can get under it." She starts descending. As she starts descending, the mist and fog starts dissipating more. The ship is visible. And suddenly, with that low perception check roll, bursting from the lower section of this purpley haze, you see 5 flying creatures
Oh dear.
moving your way towards you. And as you look and see as they get close, we see a flying version of these surge scarabs.
Yeah.
And they start flying over towards the ship, and they seem to be coming from directions. And Gunther's like, "Oh boy, everyone brace. We got ourselves some combat."
Ready for boarding!
Ready for boarding. And with that, can you please roll some initiative, because your perception was so bad.
28.
Your
If you wish to know.
I was going to say, somebody gave you some sort of increase to initiative for some reason.
I got an alert feat. I'm
Okay.
happy.
And Beryl's like, "Keep them occupied. I'm going to try to take us down." I don't even need to roll anyone else. We'll go first.
I think, do I have the highest initiative?
Oh, absolutely.
Like plus.
Absolutely.
Yay! I am truly a cat at heart.
And so the way this works is like where you are, I'm going to say you, Gunther, and Flibbit are dealing with 5 yourself, but as you look around, you notice that there's 3 or 4 on the other side of the ship. There's 3 or 4 at the back. And so everyone's splitting up to deal with their side of these guys.
Okay.
And so you didn't see them soon enough as far as perception, but you are not surprised. You can never be surprised.
I can never be
And
surprised.
so you were at least ready the most in terms of the initiative. You know these surge scarabs are flying towards you. They've got their little mandibles clicking together, their feet dangling, and there's those wings buzzing on the back. and they are rushing towards you.
I yell to the others, "Don't let it bite you!"
Okay, and your turn. What are you going to do?
Great. Well, there's 5 coming towards me.
Mhm.
Great. Because they're flying creatures. Gonna pull out my bow and knock one arrow.
Nice.
Shoot at one of them.
Okay.
Non-natural 20 to hit.
Nice, that will do it.
Yeah. Being level 8 is crazy.
A lot of stuff going on.
I've never been this high before. So, for 8 piercing damage.
Okay. 8 piercing damage on one of them will...
On a different one, for a second arrow, second attack. 22 to hit.
That hits.
Yay. For 10 piercing damage.
And you want this to be...
A different one.
Okay. So the first 2 you target are wounded as 2 of your arrows launch towards them. But they fly in, and they were mostly ready after you. They fly in, and they start swarming this side of the ship, and they get close, and they start reaching forward with their claws and trying to do little slash attacks. And so, the first one is going to run towards you, and it's going to try to do that. Natural 15 plus 4 is 19.
Yes, that hits.
And the same roll, twice, for its little double attack.
Wow.
And so, you take 2 hits of 6 total damage
Oh,
as
not
this
bad.
thing comes through and slashes at you. Each hit that you get a little flash of a moment in your past. Maybe it's a moment in childhood where Gunther first showed you how to shoot a bow, and then another one where your first fall down a scrape like rubble piece, and you hurt your leg pretty bad, stuff like that.
Ah.
So you just get these flash moments.
All right.
Gunther's turn. He's going to run over. He's going to... no, that was one on them. Right. The other one's going to come hit you both times. The other ones are going for...
It's a lot of rolls.
Wow. And I hit once.
Really?
Yep. Gunther
Wow.
gets hit for 7 damage.
Ah.
And you come down to Gunther's turn. He is going to reach forward, grab one with his thunderish gauntlets of awesomeness.
Thunderous gauntlets of awesomeness.
And he's going to grab it, and he's going to charge up those gauntlets and shock it the best he can. So he hits.
Still got the electric touch.
Yeah, he's still got the electric touch. And he is going to...
What?
The electric...
The electric touch?
Yeah.
I just came up with that. But
okay.
you did use the same term for your work D&D.
Oh, that's right. It was for the other D&D campaign. Okay. And he does a total of... enough. He grabs the one that you...
Enough.
Yeah, he grabs the one that you had originally shot, reaches forward, sends out a shockwave, and this thing poofs into dust. And Gunther's like, all right. And Flibbit, again, is going to do a stench spray at 1. Hits for... We'll say he targeted the other one that you hit, and it also poofs out of existence. We're back around to your turn. There are 3 remaining. They're not super tough, it seems.
Okay.
But they're flying at you. They're coming.
Is one of them that I hit still alive?
Nope. I had those guys target the ones you had already hit.
Okay. I'm just gonna do 2 more
I was going
attacks.
to say, they're definitely starting to clamber onto the ship now. They're going around. You see Barrel's like, get them off the ship! And they're clambering on the ropes and things next to you. And so they're definitely in melee range now as they start to fly in and take over the ship.
I am going to pull out my fork knife, my spin sword.
All right.
I'm gonna slash.
Take some attacks.
And at 2 different ones.
Okay.
Trying to spread it out.
Spreaded the damage.
That hits.
Okay.
I'm assuming anything above a 20 hits.
Yep, it hits.
Okay. So that is 9 piercing damage.
Okay.
For the first attack. Second attack does a 21 hit.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just rolling high. For not that much damage. 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. It's their turns. One of them rushes up and it starts clambering up the line next to you, and it is going for the Rubik's Cube of mist and fog, and it looks like it rushes forward and it's going to attempt to bite on it, just like you saw one do all the way back then.
Stop that!
And it is going to make an attack.
Oh, did it hit?
It hit.
It hit the Rubik's Cube.
It hit the Rubik's Cube, but for a low amount of damage. Starts tearing into it. You see the thing spark, and it's starting to look like it's going to almost like it's trying to remove the mist and fog Rubik's Cube from your ship. It is...
I yell, stop that, Scarab!
The other one fails. The other one gets a hit on Flibbit.
No.
Flibbit tries to dodge. One rushes over, gets on his level at a hovering spot, and Flibbit's like, you'll never hit me. And he dodges one. And as he dodges one, he accidentally lands into another one who does a little slice attack at him. And for another 5 damage to Flibbit. And so, it is your turn.
I am going to, can I go up the rigging?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to make an acrobatics check for me?
Yeah. I want to go up the rigging 2, natural 1 for an 8.
Okay, so you go up the rigging and immediately realize that the dust particles in the sky, the mist and fog, it's kind of left everything a little wet.
Oh, no.
So you attempt to climb and you slip and you fall back down to deck. And you weren't up that high, but it doesn't work. So maybe you can't go up the rigging.
Okay.
That one's about 10 feet, 15 feet up above you. And then there is one right next to you on the rail.
I'm going to focus 2 bow attacks on the
The
Scarab
one going
trying
for
to
that.
chomp on the
Okay.
Rubik's Cube. Not wanted to destroy our cover, though. First attack, 12.
12 does not hit.
Second attack, 29.
Yeah, that hits.
I was trying to math it out. Okay. Yay. 1 attack for 10 piercing damage.
10 piercing damage. This thing gets a hold of the Rubik's Cube of Mist and Fog, gets its mandibles around it, flaps its wings, is trying to fall backwards, pulling and pulling and pulling. And right as you think it's going to maybe succeed, one of your arrows pierces through it, and the thing turns to dust.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
other
Rubik's
ones
Cube is safe.
is safe for now. The other ones are going to go. Attacking Gunther, 2 hits. Attacking Flibbit, 1 hit. Gunther takes 12 damage. Ouch.
Oh no.
Flibbit takes. And we find ourselves down to Gunther. He's going to go attack with his gauntlets of awesomeness again. Succeeds.
That's their actual name.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
Gunther breaks one down, turns to mist. As they turn to mist, it swirls into the existing particles in the sky and just kind of becomes the same thing.
Wait a minute.
Flibbit goes for 1. Huh?
Okay. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Flibbit goes, and he hits, and he takes out the other one.
Nice.
And suddenly there are none. You look over and you see that Beryl had to fend one off. She pulled out her cutlass and slashed one down. You look over and Czar has like 5 wrapped up in a bear hug, and he just like squeezes and they all burst.
Yeah.
Yasmin and the Bloodhounds are kicking some off the ship, that sort of thing too.
All right.
It seems generally like people have succeeded.
Are we going lower?
And at about that time, Beryl descends, and you guys are able to pass through the barrier of fog.
Oh.
And suddenly,
But we're not camoed.
you're not camoed in the moment, but you start to go down and into the fog.
Okay.
As you go down and into the fog, can you please make a wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw. Actually, do that bad. 18.
Okay. You get this feeling right away. You get this feeling that you're not supposed to be here. You should probably turn back. The fog is dangerous.
Oh.
And Beryl kind of shakes her head next to you, and she's like, "Oh, do you feel that?
Yeah. Gah.
That was weird, but
My tail poofs up.
we can keep going, I think."
Yeah.
I'm going to stay high, though. I don't know what this fog is, but that felt weird.
Just don't go in the purple stuff again.
Yeah, we'll stay on the threshold.
All right.
And you guys start sailing.
Do we start camouflaging
Yeah,
again?
and the mist and fog starts forming back over. You guys are enshrouded.
We are a cloud in many clouds.
You are a cloud of many clouds. And you start sailing along. You know you have a couple hours here left. over the course of that time, you hear noises from up above. You hear the chittering, screeching noises of more surge scarabs seeking things out. But you guys are below. Periodically, you get that same feeling of pushback, like you're not supposed to be here, and you guys fight the urge, but you're able to power through. Keep heading to the east. And then finally, you start going along, and you hear no more chittering, and the fog feels a little less dense. Can you please...
I am just very, very, looking around.
Okay, make another perception check.
I do not like the silence of this. 13?
13? Okay. You notice the silence. Beryl, Maud, everybody kind of quiets down. Everybody's kind of looking around as if, why did it get quiet? It's very clear there's no birds chirping, gulls squawking anymore. Can't hear waves. And then all of a sudden, you guys feel a shadow pass through the cloud.
Oh no.
Fly right past you guys.
I just look at Beryl.
And she goes, oh no.
Not again.
And another big shadow passes by on the other side. And this time the wind rushes past you guys as something high speed and fast
and big
flies by.
I just turn to Czar and I say, get ready.
Oh, I'm always ready. And he pulls the hammer off his back, activates it, charges up that magic power that he's got in there. And at about that time, arrow. You feel this thing whoosh by one more time. And this time it takes some of that mist and fog with it because it's just mist and fog. And the power of its speed flashes by, and you see wings, and you see dark colors. And suddenly this thing flashes by, and all the mist and fog is starting to envelop you guys again, but not quick enough. And suddenly, flap, 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 coming into view, and you see peeking out of this enshrouded fog, a dragon's head. Look right towards you guys, only it is made of this magic-y, sparkly stuff.
Whoa.
Has some scarab armor features on it, and you see your first example of a surge dragon. And that is where we're going to end this week's episode.
Wow.
Yep.
A surge dragon.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
I'm terrified, but also really excited.
And you see this look on Kia's face of shock and awe and excitement. But anyway, that is where we're going to end this week's episode. Thank you all for coming along the journey. We're almost at Far-Flung Tower. You just got to beat a dragon.
Yeah, I just got to beat a dragon.
No big deal. You've fought crazier stuff.
Have I?
Not really. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for the comments. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep doing silly stuff. And
there's going to be a new season.
That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. We can, should we talk about it now or we'll talk about it later?
We're
going to do two things coming up. We're also going to be doing a how-to.
How to play.
How to build the character, how to play the game, kind of young, focused story, and then we're going to jump into the Daughters campaign after that. And so, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time
on Dadventurous
Dragon Edition. All right, welcome back to something we haven't done in a very long time. The Dadventurous Q&A, that's right. But we got a question on social media, so thank you. It's been a bit, but we're happy to do them. So, Mom and Dad and a 7-year-old that said they recently found the podcast. They're starting from the beginning, and they love it, so thank you.
Thank you.
I think we mentioned this on the podcast, but they actually said that their kid was
hoarding paper clips
around the house. So that was adorable, and we appreciate hearing stuff like that. The question we got was, if you're still doing Q&As, which we are, even though we don't do them unless people send us questions, but we're happy to do them. We'd love to know if you recommend any sources for campaign ideas or one-shots for kids. We'll eventually make up our own, but it would be fun to get started with other ideas as a guide. Currently, they are playing Hero Kids, but plan to move on to D&D soon. So that's the question. We've kind of talked about this a little bit.
about running campaigns.
Yeah, and some of the like easier to run one-shot stuff.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I always like to talk about that we've done, not on the podcast at all, but we have played personally, is the Wild Sheep Chase.
Oh, yes, the Wild Sheep Chase.
It's a free one by this production company called Winghorn Press. It's very silly. Do you remember that one?
I don't think I did that one.
I think you did. It was one with the broken wand, and there's a bunch of talking monkeys. Didn't we play that?
You played that.
I played that?
With your little D&D group.
My little D&D group. Excuse you. It was a normal-sized D&D group.
That's true, actually. It was with your normal-sized D&D group. I never played that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's this fun one where you have to help a wizard with a broken polymorph wand who's been turned into a sheep. It's fun. There's also this other one that we kind of modified once upon a time.
It was called The Ogre and His Cake.
Yeah, it was by Christopher Waltz and Emmett Byrne. Hopefully I'm saying that right, on Dungeon Masters Guild. It's very specifically designed for kids, like 5+ young kids. And it's about an ogre and stealing a birthday cake. I'm pretty sure. I don't
It was about that. It was an ogre who stole a birthday cake.
Yep. And then, of course, the big one is the Perils in Pinebrook, which Wizards of the Coast put out.
So it's
the
official one.
We plan on doing
as a next sort of season.
Yeah, the next big season you're going to run.
Yeah.
That's the plan. But in between, we're going to do a how to play D&D with the Perils in Pinebrook story. So that's the plan. So for all the people out there that are wanting to learn,
Perils in Pinebrook is a good place to start.
It's a good place to start, and we're going to run it on the podcast and treat it as if we've never played before. So hopefully it'll be a good guide for people. So anyway, hopefully that answers some questions. There's lots of stuff out there, too. There's so much stuff.
There's a lot more than what we know of, but...
Yep. I mean, and you've written some little one-shots you were doing for the D&D club. You know, you think it's not super hard. You come up with a fun little story. You throw some monsters in there that you can find online and roll some dice and have a good time. So
don't be too focused on, especially if you're doing like a short story, like a one-shot. You can just, if you're okay at coming up with a short little story about running to the store and something bad happens, it's perfectly, like, that's basically what coming up with a story is.
That's true. Yeah. It doesn't have to be
ideas
overly
and throw
complicated.
some monsters
You don't have
in.
to buy all these books. Just get yourself some dice, make up a story, and improvise. All right. I think that's everything. Thank you for the questions.
We'll leave it there.
And
Please send us more questions.
Yeah, send us more questions, and if you do, we'll answer them on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
See you.